Look at the size of this tent. And this thing is enormous. I mean, it's huge. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Well, I'm standing in front of a tent. Some of you are out there going, another tent, Bob, let the tents go. Well, I think tents are important, and I think more of you should consider including a tent in your outfit than are using it already. And I've done the video on this. Go right here. There's a link to this 10-foot Whiteduck bell tent. I love this tent. I do, and I gave it a great review. The quality is good. The durability in the worst desert winds and rains is fantastic. It's a small tent, but it has all those other advantages. $700. I spent my money on that tent. I really thought I wanted you to know about it, and it's got a complete and 100% endorsement from me. So Whiteduck reached out and said, hey, if you love that tent, can we send you something else to review? I think they're all as good. So I said, send me the 16.5. So they did, and it's right over here. And this thing is enormous. I mean, it's huge. Look at the size of this tent. This thing's just enormous. I can't describe to you how much bigger it is. It's 16.5 foot. It's $1,100. They did send this to me. I didn't pay anything for it, but I'm going to give you an honest review. I hope you know that. Let me spread out my arms, and you can see I'm just swallowed up in this tent. That one's 10 foot. This one's 16.5 feet. And the top at the height at the top, there's no comparison. The door is taller in every way. This is an enormous tent. This is as big a tent, unless you have a party of 10. I mean, literally, you want to sleep 10 people in there. This tent is big enough for everybody. Now, one of the advantages to both of these tents is that they both have a StoveJack. And so I set up a wood stove in here, and you'll see even when the wood stove is huge. It's a great tent. So let me give you some of the specs. The inside height on this is 9 foot 8, 10 foot. Let's just round off a bit. And that's just so much higher than any other tent. On that one, it was 7 foot 5. This one is 10 foot. The door is 6 foot 6. The cotton on both of these is 8.5 on the wall and on the roof. And this one is fire resistance. They've treated it to make it waterproof, of course, and fireproof. So that's a pretty good advantage on this particular tent. And you can see it's a darker color. Whiteduck does make these tents in other colors. They're not always available, but they'll order you one and get one for you. They make an olive drab and a brown, and I wanted the olive drab, but they didn't have one available, so I took this. Now, the quality and the construction of the 10-footer was extremely good, and so everything, I've set this up and looked at it, and I find the quality and the construction, the materials they use, really, really good. I think this is a great tent. One problem, though, is this was a lot bigger and a lot heavier and harder to put up. So that took me a long time to figure out where the center pole was and where the perimeter is. Anyone, I think, can put up the 10-footer. You have to crawl through, and I'll show you a time lapse of my doing it. You have to crawl through and raise up the center pipe. And while you're raising it up, you're raising a lot of fabric. And that fabric is heavy. And I never had a problem with the 10-footer, but with this 16.5, I needed help. I don't believe I could have ever gotten it on my own. Then once it's up, you guy it out. I haven't had this in extremely bad wind. I've had it in some reasonably rough wind, not terrible. And it held up just fine. The blowing, flapping was not bad at all. I've had it in some rains. It's completely waterproof. And again, I said it was heavy, big and heavy. You can break that down to the stakes, the canvas, and then the pole. I think the tent by itself is like 50. So you'll want to make sure that you can handle something that's 50 pounds. It's pretty long and very heavy. And again, that's why I bought the 10-footer, because I thought anyone could handle it reasonably, and it fits in your car. So the difference between the two is the price, of course. This is $1,100, that's $700, $400 extra dollars. Make sure you can handle a great big tent like this, and you need that space before you buy it. One of the big disadvantages to both of the all-bell tents is there are no windows on the roof. All the windows are down on the bottom. Right up here I have a video of the 10 by classic jack by Springbar, 10 by 14, and the windows and the ventilation are incredible. It's not nearly as big or as roomy, and it is much easier to set up. So that's something to consider. So that's enough overview. Now let's walk around the outside, and I'll tell you the things I like and I don't like. And then in a little bit, we'll go inside, and I'll show you the inside, and you'll see just how huge this thing is. All right, let's take a look at the outside. So one of the things I love about the Whiteduck 16.5 Regatta bell tent is how well it stakes out, and it's very stable. It can really buck a lot of wind. I mean, I think there's at least 16 stakes, and so you're busy. You're just busy pounding stakes, but it's very watertight, very windproof. Let me show you one of the things I like about it. This is metal. I don't know if you can tell that. This is metal, and when you release it like that, then it slides up and down and gets tall and gets short and long. But when you bend it, I mean, that's locked on there and it won't just come apart. Makes it really easy to get it stretched taut. Comes with lots of good stakes. The stakes here are good. This is good and solid, well sewn. The Springbar system where they have a rope sewn in all through here, and then metal catches that go into the stakes. Now look at all the stitching this has. That is a lot of stitching. That's really exceptional. More than most. The zippers seem good. I really like this overhang. I don't know how much I can show that to you, but there's like a 5 or 6 inch overhang, and I can get my hand all the way under there. So that's really holding the rain dropping off away from the tent. That's good, real good. I really like this sandstone color more than the stark white. You can see the stark white of the 10-foot bell, or even over there, the stark white of the 2 Springbars. So I really like this color a great deal more. So here's the StoveJack, and they did a good job here. It was made installation real easy. It doesn't rain inside it. It's very solid. I've been very happy with that. You can see up here that the center pole, there's a heavy fabric cap over where the center pole goes up. They do a good job there. So here you can see the sidewall window. You'd have to get down on your hands and knees to look out them, or be sitting in a chair, or laying on your bed. And there are no windows up on the walls, which is really the ceiling, because it wouldn't be secure, wouldn't be watertight. Nothing the Whiteduck can do about it. Now this is the inexpensive model of the 16.5-foot tent. They have an expensive model. It has more windows on the bottom, and it has an A-frame here instead of the center pole. It has at least those advantages. And those are really good advantages. The more ventilation you get in there, the better. And an A-frame here instead of a center pole on the door is a very, very good thing. You'll have to look at all the features it offers to see if it's worth it to you. I chose this one because I want to present the cheapest thing they have to you. But if you're willing to spend a little more and get a slightly better tent, they have one. Okay, so good. We've walked around the outside. You've seen some of the pluses, the minuses, things I like, dislike. Now let's go inside and take a look at that. Okay, so I'm standing here inside the door. To give you an idea of the size, it is a very big door. And also to give you an idea of why I really dislike these center poles. They have a better model that's more expensive that has an A-frame here, so you don't have this pole. That would be nice. It also has a lot more windows, so you're going to get better ventilation on that. It's in the 16.5. It's just going to be a little more because of these nicer features. Here we are inside. You can see the wood stove over here. I've got some wood in it, in drying. And then when I pan around, there's the bed. And I got a couple of totes in here, 5 gallons of water, a table, a couple of chairs, just to show you that, you know, and it's still empty. There's the front door. Back to the front door. Just huge. It's just huge. You can put a lot of people in here. And it's tall, really, really, really tall. It's just shy of 10 feet tall. So this is pushed back kind of towards the wall. And if I sit down on it, my head doesn't touch, ever. My head never, I can sit on that bed and my head doesn't touch at all. The floor's good. Has electrical inlets and outlets. Nice big pocket here by the door. 3 of those. And then across over there is another one of the exact same things. The Winnerwell Woodlander medium. Going out through the StoveJack. So there you have it, folks, the Whiteduck 16.5-foot bell tent. I love this thing. It's huge. I would not buy it for myself because I travel alone most of the time. I don't believe I could set it up alone. I don't need all that space. However, if you're a family, you have mom, dad, and a kid or two, and you're traveling in too small a vehicle, this is the tent. It's huge. There's a mom and a dad to set it up. You got all kinds of room in there. And it's a quality tent. It'll last a long time. The shaking in the wind isn't bad. It's waterproof, windproof. I think it's more windproof than the wall tents are, because you've got that teepee shape. You have the wind hits it and curves around it, you know, and so that is just much more aerodynamic. So for those reasons, people who just need a huge amount of room, you entertain a lot. I have a friend who entertains a lot, so she has a big bell tent, and she has game nights in her tent, and she's got something like this. This will make a great game night, a great party night. If the weather's bad outside, you can all go in there and play games or have dinner or do almost anything. That huge size can pay off for some of you. Okay, there's everything you need to know to make a decision. Okay, so if you got anything out of this, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. And remember, at the end of your life, die with amazing, fantastic memories, and don't die with regrets. I wish I would have, I wish I could have, I wish I had. Live your very best life right now. Bye now.